Morning, everybody.
Oh God, how do I stop it?
So, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to weekly obstacle discourse with Davis and Chace.
You're
I'm
so
your,
bad at that.
it's like I'm so good at talking, and the one thing I can't do is like say the line I'm supposed to say.
Well, it's like, in my vast television career, of which
Right,
is vast,
right.
it's easy to say stuff when you and I are just having the conversation. But then when somebody puts words in front of you and they're like, say this specific line, you're like, it's nobody's fault. No, wait, it's nobody's fault. Was that the thing? Do you remember that? Kevin Nealon? Not Kevin Nealon. Who was the guy from Saturday Night Live who passed away tragically? Phil Hartman.
Oh,
Yeah, he did the whole like fake outtake thing, and he couldn't say the line. He's like, "It's nobody's fault."
so I think I might have told this story before, but the last time I did TV stuff, when I was doing the Facebook stuff for World's Toughest 2018, they had me and E-Rock doing these little, things like to set up. And all I had to say, what did I have to say? My line was, it's going to take, grit, perseverance. And there was a third thing that I could never remember. And it was, this is like we're under Mudderhorn. The sun is coming up behind us. Like that's the shot, right?
Yeah, like you need it.
Like you keep fucking up and the sun is rising. And, the professional should not go into flop sweat mode and get worse and worse. Right.
Yeah.
But I slowly was sinking into that mode. And, everybody's fine with it. But like yourself, you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking this up. Everybody hates me. It's going to take grit, perseverance, and a lot of grit to make it through this race. Like I just can't get it wrong.
Did I mention grit?
And unlike this show or the 100 other things I do where I can just fuck around and roll with it, they really wanted me to get it right.
Well,
I believe I did. I should cut to that, Josh. Will I be a true professional and cut to that clip?
probably not. Actually, what's funny is I was listening. I forget what episode I was listening to, and I was like, "This is the moment where Matt will cut back into the audio from a prior episode," and then we were just like, "And moving on."
Once or twice, I actually do it. Well, Josh, we need to start. We need to start with my favorite place to always start, and that is Tech Corner, where I, Matt, learn a little bit about technology through my friend Josh, who actually does it for a living and also helps the audience as well. Josh, what can you tell us about TiVo streaming 4K?
What do you want to know about TiVo? There's still a thing, which is wildly amazing to me.
Well, me too, which is why I wanted to hear your take. They had a big reveal at CES. You mean you're not keeping up with the CES goings and comings?
I mean, so they have another streaming device. Like, great, there's 38,000 of them. So they have a 4K streaming device. Okay, cool.
That's it. That's all you give us?
That's pretty much it. Like TiVo
was the original thing. Like some people call DVR TiVo like it's a verb. Like they were the first people.
Yeah.
Market.
No, it definitely wasn't. It was a service called Record TV. Was the first to market. TiVo was just the most popular because it had that cute little icon and the bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah. So, chicken you had loose in the house?
We're going to suggest.
Oh, did I actually lose you?
Happened.
Oh, okay. I lost you for a second there. Yeah, so they came out with a new streaming device. It's not really revolutionary.
Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm back.
So you're telling me that their big reveal was nothing? It was kind of like another color on a Spartan medal or something? It just wasn't really anything? I thought it was going to be newsworthy.
No, not really. Not really. Now we made some news at CES we've made some announcements too. We're there every year doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, of course you are. You know who else was? Joe DeCina.
Oh, yeah. Joe DeCina was there. Not sure why. Gary Vee was probably there. That's why.
Caressa the shower toga lady was there, I think.
That's weird. I want to go there. That's like, as a kid, I used to want to go to E3 every year which is the Electronic Entertainment Expo, which is where they show all the new video game stuff. Like, I always used to want to go to that, but now I just want to go to the Consumer Electronics Show and see all these crazy widgets and gadgets that I'll never be able to afford.
Yeah, so back in my young promotional days, I was handing crap out outside of E3 and actually snuck in a couple times.
Yeah, then they went like industry only for a few years and didn't like sell tickets. What are you doing? Like, this isn't for you. This is for the fans.
Well, it's interesting. I specifically remember that because they actually moved it to Santa Monica.
Yeah, they moved it to like a military hangar or something at one point.
It was like a pier. It was like a pier in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And yeah, they wanted to make it like a different thing.
Different vibe.
Yeah, as I discussed with Katie Sackhoff, did you listen to that interview yet?
I have not listened to that. I'm way behind on podcasts lately.
Josh.
I got into this music kick when I was driving, and I just, I get distracted. I'm very far behind.
Well, I used to never listen to music while running. I always caught up on podcasts, but that lovely band Green Day that we're listening to this morning has been in my ears the last like 2 nights, and dare I say I'm a lot faster.
Well, when you find that music that just like matches with your cadence, it's a game changer, especially on like the treadmill for me. If I find music that just matches, I know you don't run on the treadmill, but up here when it's 18 degrees after being 70 degrees the day before, sometimes you have to do drastic things. I might have to run on the treadmill again tonight. I don't know.
No, I get it. And my apologies to anyone on the West Side Beltline that happens to pass me when I am screaming loud lyrics, because that's what happens. I get into it. I mean, I'm in the moment.
That's inefficient use of your breath, Matt.
I know but it's hard though when like certain lines come up,
It's true. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I'll do the old like fist pump, like doo, doo,
right.
As you're
How
running,
can you not
like,
help it?
Yeah.
Can I get another amen? Amen. That's me.
Meanwhile, Karen's running by you like,
who the fuck is that lunatic?
You're like, amen? What?
Can I say I actually forgot about Green Day. So Green Day comes out. So I just looked them up on Wikipedia. They're all my age. Somehow when you're in your 20s, you don't really recognize that the guys on stage are exactly your age. These guys are all my age. That first huge album came out in 94, 93, whatever it was, Dookie. And, huge $10 million seller. Everybody loved it. It was amazing. I actually used them in my example of like all the concerts I used to go to when I was younger. And I used to say, now it's clearly all over the map because I'm 100 years old. But back then I was like, somehow I went from the youngest guy at all the concerts. Like I'd go see like Billy Joel or other aging rock stars, and I was the youngest guy. And then I turned around one day and I was the oldest guy at the Green Day show.
Yep.
Anyhow, so anyway, it's amazing. And, I semi keep up with them over the years, but like not really. And especially in recent years, stopped buying CDs, very late to the listening to streaming devices game. And I had no idea they have like 20 albums. I didn't even know this.
Yeah, I can't say I kind of know anything past like American Idiot, but
right.
That's about it for me.
There's 8 albums after that. There's a brand new one coming out. You can listen to 2 of those songs right now on Apple Music. Very different sounding. I think they're taking risks, I guess. But listen, when you're younger. By the way, this is an obstacle course racing show. For those of you that are new, this is what we do sometimes. When you're younger, you just think like the bands you like are the ones that are going to last forever, and most of them don't, right? 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 records. These guys have been cranking it out, so I give them respect for that. And I'm probably going to do like when I run like Boston, maybe I'll just put on like their entire catalog, because I'm going to have 4 hours to kill.
I don't know that I can think of a band that I have followed in terms of album releases, especially now with streaming music where I can just pop in and grab the one song I want to listen to.
Right.
I don't know that there's like an album that's come out that I was like, I have to listen to this album right away.
Yeah, those days are gone, my friend.
Those days are gone. Long live the days of indie music and 45s. Damn, I sound old. God damn.
Do you say 45s? Come on, man.
Hell yeah, man. Come on, man. What do you want to talk about in this obstacle course racing show? You want to talk about some obstacle course racing?
Should we start with Mudder? I guess we'll start with Mudder.
I guess. Just, what is this, our 4th consecutive week talking Mudder now, I think?
Yeah. So what the Sports Business Journal reported, which your friend Matt has been sitting on because he wasn't sure what he could post and what he couldn't, is the deal. So back when you and everyone else was trying to figure out the math of what's 20 times the American salary, I knew that what he was really asking for was $44 million. That's 22 each for him and Guy. So a company that's been losing money that you essentially put into the ground, and now I know so much more about that too. Everything I knew, everything I've guessed, true, that the big story's coming. However it comes out, however it lands, TM is saved, TM is not saved. I'm going to be able to write the story where I know everything of Will Dean's pretty much a greedy guy. So somewhat curbing what I say so I don't get sued again. So yeah, their company is going into bankruptcy, right? Like, it's like I said, I think the other day, like the ship is on fire and sinking. And the one guy with a hose is like, I can give you the hose. And it's like, nope, give me another 20 million and the hose. Otherwise I don't care if I sink and die. That's basically where it is. And so now to get around that, they're trying to force him into bankruptcy, and then obviously makes the company much less valuable. And we're losing all this time. Everyday ticket sales aren't purchasing as bad. And every day the staff isn't working as bad. So we're losing valuable time. So that's where we are.
Dare I say they've already lost. I'm like, for me, if Tough Mudder is the Titanic, like now we've taken the reins away from Battle Frog. If Tough Mudder is the Titanic, it is already broken in half and the first half has sunk. And it's like, I don't know how the company comes back from almost a month of suspended ticket sales.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Josh.
All right.
Chace.
That's what we do here sometimes.
First of all, it's not even summer, and I am like 20 shades darker than you. That's what I just noticed.
It's wintertime, so I am in my palest.
Can you get your face closer to mine? Let's see. Get your face close. No, like this. Go to your left or your right.
This way.
We almost touched heads. That was almost gay. Let's look at it from two perspectives, Josh.
Okay.
From the OCR perspective, right? The hardcores, right? They're still going to go. They're going to be even more excited, right? I think like if Tough Mudder opens up College Station, like, fuck, I'm going to get to go. Okay.
Sure.
The average consumer, right? They want to do a Tough Mudder. They Google it. Ticket sales are down. Maybe they Google, maybe they don't to find out what's going on, but they just kind of forget about it because the race isn't coming to their town for a few more months. And they just log back in randomly a month later and it's back up. Like, is that wrong to think? Or you think everyone in America is like, Tough Mudder's dead?
Yeah, I think when was the last time you went to look for something online, saw that it was unavailable, and then continued to go back for it? Never. In consumerism today.
If the site was down, no. If it just said tickets currently unavailable, maybe I don't know. Maybe I think it's waiting. I don't know.
Dude, it says ticket sales are offline. Check back for more info with no info whatsoever. No updates. Like that is the death knell for a consumer. A consumer will just go, all right, well, I'll go look at Rugged Maniac, I guess. Sure. Will you get 1,000 people at College Station? Yes. But you know what we've learned time and time again? 1,000 people aren't going to make a profitable obstacle course race.
Right. So you eat it early on, and by end of the year, it's forgotten and we're back in business. No? Maybe am I too optimistic, Josh?
What world have you been living in for the last 4 years? How many of these companies have turned it around? Hell, even Tough Mudder, who we thought turned it around, hadn't turned it around, obviously.
Well,
I don't know.
I hope Joe isn't listening, because this is exactly what Joe isn't hoping for him.
Well,
maybe I'm too optimistic.
Good. Take what I'm saying and prove me wrong. But I think there is nobody that wants to see Tough Mudder survive more than me. That's a lie. I'm sure there's plenty more people out there.
What's your number one priority, Josh?
the safety and well-being of our listeners.
And then number 2 is what?
Profit.
Tough Mudder coming back. Those are the 2
right.
things every week we use. But you see how easily it rolled off your tongue, Josh?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Bullshit lie just rolled off your tongue.
But, we've seen it time and time again. It's going to be a long, difficult road to bring Tough Mudder back. And I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm a skeptical individual at all times. And this is not unique to Tough Mudder. I'm always a skeptic, and I'm always a contrarian, and I'm always glass half empty. So,
all right. So going back to the other businesses thing, right? When Sears closes, 3,000 stores but keeps 100 open, like, what does that mean? Like, they're never going to open any more stores, never going to be profitable again? Like, there's a reason somebody's keeping it open.
When was the last time they opened a new Sears, Matt?
Well, Sears is a really bad example.
No, I think it's a perfect example.
People listening to the show don't even know what a fucking Sears is, man. If you're listening right now, raise your hand if you've owned a Craftsman lawnmower.
Craftsman doesn't make lawnmowers, do they?
John everything was Sears. If you needed a fucking washer and dryer, there was no Home Depot, there was no Bed Bath & Beyond. If you needed a washer dryer, you went to fucking Sears, man, or a lawnmower.
Or bed linens, or a million other things. Or your new JanSport backpack for back to school. Yeah, I mean, when I read things like, I was trying to find the letter that Spartan wrote in favor of the support of this Chapter 11 filing. The one line that jumped out is every day that goes by, right, this product becomes less and less valuable, and we're on a month at this point past selling tickets, and there is no hope in sight still. Like, all we're seeing is worse news. We're not seeing good news.
Well, I'm aware of things, once again, that I can't say. I will say that as recently as yesterday, Josh, I'll say this. I messaged you saying, get ready, because we're getting close. And then it wasn't as close as I thought, but I need to get ready. So what can I say?
I said yesterday that if this deal is not done by the end of this week, I'm going for refunds on my World Toughest Mudder.
Well, I think listen, I haven't said don't do that. Like, go get your refund. Like, if you're worried, go get it. Like, you didn't get delivered on a product, you think it's going bad, and you think some people's credit cards are saying that they're saying you have to wait until the event. I don't think that's true. I think if you just share an article or two, it usually works. Like that worked for, Muddy Muggle and Superhero and all the races. Like, most of these companies don't actually announce they're going out of business. Oh, Battlefrog did, but most of these companies don't. They just sort of go away or whatever. So, go fight it now if you want it.
I don't. Like, that's the thing is I don't want to, but if it goes another week, then I'm going to.
Okay, again, perhaps I'm way too close to this.
Probably. Well, you have information that others don't have, so you put you in a position of knowledge.
But again, if this was a month, when you just say a month sounds like a long time, right? But I'm kind of like, yeah, but 2 weeks of it was the holiday when everybody's kind of checked out anyway. So, like, it really hasn't been a month?
No, because that should be a big time for them to do ticket sales and, like, let family members buy races for friends and family.
Fine, it's over. Jesus, Josh. God.
Oh my God, Matt. Listen, there can be an in-between. It doesn't have to be.
No, there can't.
Only the Sith deal in absolutes, God damn it. It doesn't have to be one or the other, but I'm just all right, counterpointing your argument.
So I guess if Tough Mudder goes under, our show is just going to be like, well, this week in Spartan news again.
Spartan Discourse with Doofus and Rage.
I think Savage, I said before, I think Savage has the most to gain from this, right? Probably.
Yep. Speaking of gain, companies already jumping on the Tough Mudder train, offering discounted race tickets.
Yeah, interesting. They didn't wait for Spartan this time. And of course, I'd reached out to these companies weeks ago. I was like, hey, if you want to put something out, like Spartan's probably going to. And Sam gave that vague answer of, we'll give what we can afford, whatever that meant. But then Rugged and Bone Frog said, yep, we'll go ahead and get a free one. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get 5 free races out of it,
I'm cashing in on the Rugged one because Rugged's always a good time, and for like 15 or $25, whatever it was, can't beat that.
Yeah, Rugged's solid. Rugged keeps to themselves, head down. We're a fun event, cranking away.
Rugged's not suspending ticket sales anytime soon.
Nope. You know who else isn't?
Who?
No, I was going to make a good joke, and then I lost it. So I have this note here about Jeff Murphy. People don't even know who Jeff Murphy is, but
I have no idea who Jeff Murphy is.
See, but it's like so dumb. I don't even feel like I should say it, but I'm going to say it. There's this weird notion that people want Tough Mudder to go out of business, and we're bad for saying something about Tough Mudder. And there's one guy, Jeff Murphy. Jeff Murphy is the troll of trolls. Jeff, if you're listening, God bless you. Jeff Murphy is an early troll in the World's Toughest Mudder group, booted out years ago for he probably
insubordination.
He probably crossed the line. Let's be honest, right? By the way, I have to tell that story sometime. Maybe I'll save it for next week. The time that I was kicked out of the World's Toughest Mudder. I explained it in Discord or the Upside Down Discord. I can't remember, but anyway, Jeff Murphy he's right about 75% of the time. And the 25%, he's just like, whoa, dude, chill the fuck out. And he doesn't mind me saying this, Jeff, if you're listening, I hope. Anyway, he's the only one who's probably like, aha, Tough Mudder went away. Nobody else is upset about it, Josh.
Yeah, I don't know where the notion that like people are happy about this, and everybody responds differently to people posting news and whatnot. And then there was the one guy who was like, just being quiet is okay too. Like, you're a turd. I don't like that's the OCR equivalent of that woman who was crying about leaving Britney Spears alone. Like, people are going to talk about things. That's fine. If you don't want to see it, then that's on you. You can fix that easily. Mute the fucking group or delete the Facebook app. Like, go outside. I don't know.
Dude.
But the part that kills me is we live in an industry, or we have ourselves in an industry where talking about the products is kind of what we do. So when there's big news abound, we're going to talk about it. And we're not reveling in the fact that it's bad times, but we are going to talk about it and speculate and give opinions and everything else. We're not just fucking robots here.
Right. But the internet, especially Facebook, does what Facebook does. And you, my friend, pointing at you, Josh Chace, you are part of the problem, and I will get to that in a moment. So I read comments, obviously, when it's news like this. Sometimes I can't even keep up and probably shouldn't. But on a topic this controversial, what often happens in OCR or anything is, here's an article, right? Opinion A, opinion B, right? And then before we know it, A and B are just fighting each other. It is no longer about the article at all, right? So our buddy Jerk Adipole, right? Going at it with somebody, right? And even though I agree with them, it's like, come on, like, what are you doing, right? Now, my friend Josh Chace is out there on political posts doing this. Josh, you're such a value to the OCR community. You probably bring value to your employer at some point when you're not fucking off the internet. And here you are trying to convince people about our fucking orange president. What are you doing?
I consider my duty as a citizen.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Josh.
To educate people on how moronic their ideas and opinions are.
Oh my God, Josh. Such wasted breath, my friend. You could be doing such good in the world.
I'm doing plenty good in the world. I just have all this extra free time.
Okay, then can you make me a graphic then?
Do you know what my number? I won't. Do you know what my number? We did this whole like I forget the guy's name, but he wrote all these books on leadership and qualities of leaders and all this stuff. One of those guys, old guy, glasses, has a pen in his hand at all times, probably.
Sure.
Just insert that staple, 1980s leadership guy.
Right.
And you do this whole personality quiz. It's like 175 questions, and it's just 2 questions, like, do you like to be the life of the party, or do you like to, have a small group of friends? And you pick one or the other.
Right.
You just do that for like an hour. So you pick it, and they give you 5 traits. They narrow it down to like 5 traits of you as a human. It like boils you down to this thing. So what do you think my number 1 trait is?
Loudmouth? I don't know.
Competitiveness.
Oh, got it.
That's my number 1 trait is competition.
Right.
Number 2 is maximizer. I like to get the most out of people that are around me, which I think is good. And it's also, I'm an idealist and a futurist. And that's like me to a T. So
okay.
I love competition, which means I like to fight with people.
Right.
It's all about winning.
Right.
If you're not first, you're last, right? Second sucks. All those other cliches. So,
right.
That's part of where all that comes from, I'm sure.
All right. Well, you know what they say? No one lies in their deathbed going, I wish I spent more time arguing on Facebook.
Oh, gosh, shut the fuck up. Listen, all right, we're all going to – listen, I'm going to step into fucking dark corner for a second, okay? We're all going to pass away. We're all going to have regrets when we do. It's what we do in this goddamn moment that makes us feel good that matters, right? I'm not going to do things
and that makes you feel good. And this makes you feel good to fight people that you know aren't going to ever see your way. Like this debate you and I are having, right? About TM and if a month is too late, right? That's healthy debate, healthy discourse, right? Mm-hmm. Trump's an idiot and here's why, or any horrible, right-wing thing that's going on, like whose opinion are you going to change?
What does it matter? What does it matter? How is it any different than me feeling, shitty when I wake up in the morning and going, I really need to do something that makes me feel better. I'm going to go to Amazon and shop for some crap and put it in my shopping cart and not actually buy it. So what does it matter? Right? It's the same thing. It just makes you feel good sometimes to be like, listen, there are people out in the world that are literal morons. And it makes me feel better to know that they're there and I'm here. And they're probably saying the same thing about me, and I don't give a shit, right? So it's whatever it is. If it makes you feel happy, then knock yourself out.
All right, dude. I have to concede to you there. So I was hanging out with a friend of mine the other day.
By the way, I just won the argument that you hated me for doing.
But see, that's
the rule.
But that's the difference between you and I, that at this stage of my life, I have found that like conceding is like really, for me, the way to go. Like, I'm like, all right.
Well, clearly competition is not your number 1 trait, sir.
I once heard a guy say like, if I say you're right, can we move on? Like, great. I'm like, yep, you're right. Like, let's go.
I don't want to live in that world.
But clearly not. You may or may not, just throwing this out there, you may or may not in the next 10 years back off that statement some. That's all I'm saying.
I've come a long way in the last 10 years. I'm sure there's more.
I am very different in my last 10 for sure. I had a friend who was on his phone. And my friend makes a few bucks. He's not a gazillionaire, but he makes a few bucks. And he was like on the phone, like browsing things. And I'm like, oh, are you going to buy blah, blah, blah? He's like, I don't know, probably not. I don't know. And I was like, I think that's the difference between people with money and people without money. If I go on Amazon, I'm absolutely going for a purchase, right? I need a new dongle for my phone. I need, something for my kid. I never browse high ticket items I'm not going to buy.
That's a parent thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because you do that all the time?
Yeah, I am lucky enough to have disposable income. So sometimes I just look at shit that I may or may not need and decide in the moment if I need it. So.
Well, so I just said it right there. I have not a lot of disposable income. You do.
So. But yeah, hence why I'm flying to 13 goddamn states this year to go run some races at least one race that'll still be in business this year.
All right. So speaking of kids, I wrote this. River is playing in his first basketball game, and these kids are 6, and some of them are they're 6 to 7, and some of them are really good and really intense, and some of them are just sort of happy to be alive. So there's like one kid that literally is just like kind of bouncing around, like just doing his own thing, right? So you got to love him. And then there aren't a lot of baskets scored. So like my son's game, like it ended like 10-3, right? And that's in 4 quarters of like 8 minutes each, right? Or whatever it is, 5 minutes each. They're really short games, right? These kids don't have a lot of whatever. But because baskets aren't scored a lot, when they make it, it's much like a goal in soccer, right?
Yeah.
Because they're so rare. And this kid, like, you know, basically was like scored a basket and then like ran down the court like he was fucking Ronaldo, like, yeah,
pull his shirt up over his head, like, yes.
And so for all the negative crap out there, if you want to feel good, if you want a little sunshine in your life, watch 6-year-olds play basketball, because you can't not smile. And then watch that one kid that his parents asked him to play and he does not even care. He might not even know he's playing basketball.
Right.
He's just happy to be on that court, bouncing around like a fucking goofball.
Just don't watch the parents, because they're the opposite.
Well, I haven't seen a ton of that in any of in Jackson or River yet. Like in football, there's definitely some intensity, but I haven't seen any of the like really, really bad, like, I don't know, maybe it's a suburban parents thing, because so far in the hood, I haven't seen a lot of that.
In the hood.
All right, I need coffee, so everybody curse me for being unprofessional, and Josh can give a Discord plug.
Well, it has been a few weeks since he's done this, so I suppose I'll give him some credit. But then again, he had like coffee delivered to him last time, so yeah. For those of you that would like to continue this conversation and talk about certain races' possible demise, you're welcome to join us on the Discord server. The website is bit.ly/OCR chat. That's bit.ly/OCR chat. Even I junked it up. Shout out to one Victor Quezada, who joined the Discord the other day and is on there, and a whole bunch of other people. There's like 600 plus people on there now. So jump in, have a chat, say hi to everybody. And Matt is back with his coffee.
You know what I just thought of, by the way?
What's that, my friend?
This unbelievable value that is 45 seconds of airtime when I go get coffee, that could be yours, person with a product and or service. You should advertise on this podcast. Like, if you want to, like, I always ask for Patreon or whatnot. Another way is not just to give Patreon, but advertise, right? We had a couple advertisements who specifically work for the Davis and Chace program. It's the most listened to podcast. That's easily, right?
It is definitely the most listened to.
Right. Other than the two Ryans, but that's only once a month, once every 6 weeks at this point.
It's funny how Ryan Woods is very obviously a child at heart in the gifts that he was given. He was so happy to watch you guys open those gifts. He's like, "That's funny, right? Right?" Yeah, that was a pleasure to listen to. That one I did listen to the other day.
What's this Australia thing?
Oh, okay. This is a little bit of can you not corner here.
It's not can you not corner. It's just can you not.
Okay, fine.
The graphic comes up on the screen. Can you not?
Can you not? Listen, what's happening in Australia is awful. And if you
I get it.
If you haven't watched the news, Australia has large amounts of wildfires, and it's just awful. And we're seeing stories about animals and hearing all these things. There's a ton of good news that comes out of this stuff, right? The Irvings, most notably Bindi and the son's name escapes me at the moment. Irwin, sorry, not Irvin.
I'm Bindi Irwin. My dad's dead.
That was
My dad's dead. My dad got eaten by a koala bear.
Okay, you can't talk about me having political arguments and then make some off-color remark like that. I'm trying to do something good, and you're just driving a dickhead spike right into the middle of my argument.
Can we sell dickhead shaped spikes? That should be a thing.
We could 3D print those suckers probably.
Sell it to all the stoolies.
So my point is, it's great to raise money to contribute to the assistance for things like this, but can we not just have every product be like every bottle of juju juice you buy today, we're going to donate 1% of the profits to Australia? It's like, can you just not? Because you're just doing it to get your brand out there. You don't really – what are you going to do? You're going to donate $17 to save a koala bear? Like, dude, just go donate the $17 and use that as your headline, and I would think better of you. Like, I shouldn't need to go buy your product for you to do something good. You should just inherently want to do something good.
Well, it goes right along the, faux patriotism, faux mom's day, faux gay day, whatever we happen to pretend to care about. Well, I mean, didn't you see Ricky Gervais have the best line? He's like, look, you're in no position to talk about anything. Come up and get your little award and then get off the fucking stage.
Yep.
Loved it. And then, of course, they did. Of course, everybody got up and, you know.
Yep. Yeah. His monologue is excellent. He's like, you keep bringing me back, so you want me here.
Right. Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah. I the one thing that came out of this Australia thing, which I thought was funny. Now we're just talking about pop culture trends. So welcome to Pop Culture Discourse with Davis and Chace. Amazon tweeted, like, Jeff Bezos has announced that he's donating $690,000 to relief efforts in Australia. And somebody replied with, like, dude, Metallica donated $750,000. Like, it took Jeff Bezos 3 minutes to make that money that he just donated.
Right.
But yeah, it's awful. If you want to do something, research the efforts that you would want to donate to and that means something to you, and go do it. Don't use it as a tripe to sell your product to me. I'll buy your damn crap if I need to. Okay. Now that I'm off my angry chair, what else are we talking about?
You're always angry, Josh.
That's not true. Sometimes I'm not.
You want to talk about the rig championship at a location to be determined?
Sure. The location's already determined, isn't it?
No.
The northeast track, Montreal, something? Or is that just a general area, like the Beltline?
Yeah, I thought that was the thing, that they were like, hey, we're going to do one. We've done one of these before. We're going to do it in America. Let us know where we should do it.
Oh, I thought I saw somewhere that it was in a place already, but I couldn't.
Well, go look.
I'm Googling as we speak. I don't speak French, so it's very difficult for me to navigate all of this.
I wouldn't Google. I would just go to the Facebook event or whatever.
I already tried that. It's not there either. God bless you. Platinum Rig events. So much French. I don't know why there wouldn't be, but okay. Anyway, continuing on. Talk about the Platinum Rig Championship. God bless you. Jeez, power sneeze.
Well, it's happening.
And that's the cutting edge kind of commentary you can expect from us, folks.
I'll be honest, Josh. I always expect you to do much more, research, and then we can,
No, I mean, I know about the event. I just didn't necessarily know about where it was. It's in Montreal, right? We know that for sure.
I'm going to read to you. We have been playing this since October, and we feel that the timing is perfect to launch the Platinum Rig Obstacle Relay Race World Championships in the United States on August 1st and 2nd, 2020. That's all it says.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the event they have in Canada, it says Montreal North Shore Track, and this is June 6th and 7th of 2020.
Okay, so August 1, 2020, the location is USA. Now, this is Dom, the man behind Platinum Rig. So the reason you even have ever been on a rig is this guy, Dom, solid dude. And the guy from Dead End Race, another Canadian race, named Brian. Who is it? What is his name? Yes, named Brian, who I'm trying to set up a call with, mostly because English is not Tom's first language. So we'll go with the English-speaking guy whenever possible. Really, I'm just really butchering this right now. Anyway, everybody loves them. They do a great job. It is a little odd to name an event and a date without a location, though. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so I saw this event. It happened last year without a ton of fanfare or notoriety. Think of a college track where they set up, 20 or so Platinum Rig-esque obstacles. So if you're familiar with Platinum Rig, where it's usually you run into it on a course and it's a single rig experience. Now take that rig and multiply it and put it all throughout a course, and you're running that course for 24 hours, which to me sounds physically like a nightmare in a great way, right?
Yeah.
And they're not all Platinum rigs. They have some, basic walls to get over. They have some rope climbs. They have some low rigs, some monkey bars, lots of upper body type stuff. And they have a handful of different events. They've got a 24-hour championship, team events. They're doing 12-hour races this year. There's also a 4-hour team race with teams of 3 to 4 people. So it's, kind of a relay of sort, but mostly team-based on this track where you're running around and around to get as many laps as possible and complete it. So, it's a great concept. This small track concept continues to become a little more prevalent in our sport. But man, the thought of doing platinum rig style obstacles over the course of several hours just makes my hands hurt just thinking about it.
Yeah, it says the course is constantly changing throughout the 24-hour period. 15 to 25 open at a time, sometimes none at all, and sometimes all the obstacles are open. What makes this event so special is that it takes place on a clean track, no mud, no water, and no hypothermia. I guess what jumps out to me, and I certainly would like to hear from you all, wherever you want to post or comment, is I think an endurance event like World's Toughest or even Iceland is the running is kind of the most thing. Yes, you're doing obstacles, but the endurance is mostly about like your overall body and running. And people who are really good at doing a ton of obstacles in a row don't necessarily want to go for 24 hours. It's like ninja courses are short, right? And so it's kind of like, like you said, like, does anybody want to just kill their fucking hands for even 4 hours at a time?
Well, it's a different kind of endurance race, whereas World's Toughest Mudder is more of a lower body endurance race. This is obviously a more upper body endurance race, and you just have to, I'd be interested to see, I'm going to have to look at YouTube and see if they have any videos of the event, but out of the starting gates at World's Toughest Mudder, people run, they're off. And granted, the first lap is a sprint lap, so you generally want to run fast anyway, but in this, when the gun goes off, people just kind of jog across the start line. They're like, I'm not going to murder myself so quickly. So I don't know. So it'll be, I'd go visit it if it's nearby. Those guys are from Montreal, so hopefully it's at someplace in the Northeast. You don't know.
Did you look at that weekend to see if anything's happening up there at that weekend?
What was it? August what?
August 1, 2. Is there a fit challenge? Is there anything?
No, August 1, 2 is relatively open as far as I see. Let me consult my meme schedule.
Yeah, I guess I'm not interested. Put it this way. Personally, I would never do that event. Not interesting to me at all. I'm a guy that likes to run much more than I like to do obstacles, but I guess certain people would really love it.
Yeah. They look to have a couple hundred people at their last event. So, but yeah, August 1 and 2 looks clean. So maybe they did their due diligence.
Why not have a regular one? You know what I mean? Why not have hey, it's also the time trial thing like they did at, NORAM, right?
Yeah, make the 400 meter course the course, one lap through and see who can do it.
Yeah, you may as well get some people who have zero desire to do a long one. I don't know. Maybe it isn't.
Well, if our sport has proven anything, it's that people want to endure one way or another, and that's pushing themselves both in terms of obstacle completion and distance. And they seem to love this, this multi-lap thing that has sort of taken off. I just watched their little preview video, and there's some intense friggin' obstacles on this thing. And on the other side of things, it's also a cost benefit. When we talked to Adrian about short courses, he's like, listen, you'd have to put 4,000 people through a short course to make it profitable based on venue costs and insurance and all this stuff. It's a 400 meter course. What are you going to charge per lap? $30 at most. So you'd have to get a lot of people. So now turn it into a multi-lap event, charge a bit more, obviously, because you're there for longer periods of time. And, you turn it into an endurance / survival / king of the hill type experience.
All right. Well, proof is in the pudding. We'll see if people register.
I'll have to wait and see where it is myself.
Don't think it's great to announce without a location, but We'll see.
We will see.
Speaking of which, Indian Mud Run said, hey, we do one race a year. What if we did a 24-hour race? Would you guys show up?
Not only what if we did a 24-hour race, what if we did it on the same weekend that World's Toughest Mudder is on? And again, when I was like, hey, that's pretty cool, 24 hours at Indian Mud Run. And then I thought, ouch, my hands. Like, I've never been to Indian Mud Run, but I know, obviously, I've seen a lot of Hobie's obstacles. I know a lot of his obstacles are very grip intensive. He's got the massive slide at his place. That kind of stuff for 24 hours, like that's quite a mix of obstacle intense, obstacles.
And it's Hubie, not Hobie.
I said Hubie.
You said Hobie. It's okay. Rewind the tape.
I don't correct it. Listen, Fred, play it back, will you? Yeah. Sure, you could, but chances are, if they have World's Toughest Mudder, that's going to be a bad day for you to do it on the same weekend. So,
I just, listen, they don't have. I don't know what their numbers are like, but I'm never a fan of, hey, if we did this, would you buy it? It's like anybody's going to say yes. It doesn't mean anything. It's a useless, whatever. So it's like, What city should we come to next? And like one person in Des Moines writes Des Moines. Like it doesn't really.
Hey guys, if I started selling candles on Facebook, would you buy some?
Exactly.
You should totally do that.
Exactly. However, I think Savage should absolutely do a 24-hour race.
You're insane.
Savage is perfect. What are you talking about? They've got like a lot of experience of putting a lot of people through it, and they would just have to learn the 24-hour piece.
Why does it have to be 24 hours? Like, I get that World's Toughest Mudder did this 24-hour thing, but why is that the next step? Why is there no other innovation in our sport beyond?
There's plenty. What do you mean? We just talked about all the short course stuff. I'm just saying, if there's going to be something to replace WTM, Spartan's race is not it, because Spartan race is Spartan race. It's competitive. You can't help, right? And Savage could make it that you could help, because it's like there's big walls, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. That's not where I'd want to see Savage go next, though.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They've got permanent locations pretty much set up already. One's here, one's in Florida, right, where they kind of have everything already.
Yep.
I think it would be cool.
Or just added another Savage to my calendar.
Here's something I've been meaning to say, though, and I keep forgetting to say it. If losing WTM teaches us anything, and we haven't said we've lost it, but assuming we do, or if we do, the lesson for me is when you say, you know what, I'm going to do it next year, right? There might not be a next year. There might not be a next year, ladies and gentlemen. So if there's something on your calendar, like to do, like get on it.
Well, this is 2 episodes in a row I'll mention Paul Jones. Paul Jones, famous supporter of local races. One of the first to start up this whole race local thing, right? That has since come and gone as local races have moved on. If there's any truth in it, it's that what you know today might not be around tomorrow. So support it, or it'll be gone and you'll be filled with nothing but regrets. Like, look at Shale Hill. A lot of people in Vermont or for Shale Hill were like, oh man, I never got to go. You had every opportunity. I'm part of that same group as well. Like, I didn't go until the very last Shale Hill event, and it makes me sad that I didn't go sooner. So support events that this is why, like, let me go to the end game, right? Spartan is over, right? Let me post-apocalyptic OCR dystopian future, right? Spartan. This is where the scrolling at the beginning of the movie happens. Like, Spartan has ended. Obstacle course racing, as we know it, is no longer a thing. You think back.
Is there a shot of my children like starving?
Yeah.
Like my kids like sharing a piece of bread.
There's just a picture of Jackson covered in ash with a bear with one arm ripped off, like holding an old binky. That's all.
Exactly.
So all these people that are on Facebook like griping about, and it's what we do too, like picking apart every decision that they make. Like, you know, sure, you can complain about it, and sure, you can chastise them for making the decisions, or you can just go support something you love, right? That's what it comes down to. If truly at the end of the day you enjoy being at obstacle course races and running them, just go support them. And that kind of goes against like what I was doing at the beginning of this episode, like talking about races that are in dire need. But you know, it's why I spend money on, you know, something as stupid as flying to fucking Las Vegas to run a super. It's because I love these events and I want to support them, right? I have no issue dropping several $100s on World's Toughest Mudder the day registration comes out, or OCR Worlds, or whatever it is. It's like, if you don't support them, they go away, and then we got to find something else to fucking do. And I don't want to do anything else. I'm too old to start something new.
Me too.
So
it's funny, you know, people ask me all the time. It's honestly a little bit like when I did stand-up. They're like, so you still doing that thing? Like they kind of like, they're trying to say, how the fuck are you eating? How are you, whatever. You know, even, and by the way, people far more successful than me, like guys that I knew who were headliners who you've never heard of, but who make a nice living, you know, and they'd run into people be like, yeah, you still doing the comedy? Oh my God. Did you see the link I sent you of that woman? And had you seen her already?
I have.
That Boston lady?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Bill Burr does a great thing. He's like, you know, he's like, I've decided I'm not going home for the holidays anymore because I just don't want to listen to my goddamn family. He's like, inevitably I'll show up and I'll be in the kitchen. They're like, so what are you doing? Are you just telling jokes? Is that what you're going to do?
Doing the comedy?
So
I want to play this woman though, because she's fucking amazing. Now, if you can't appreciate this woman, I have no love for you whatsoever.
We can't be friends.
We can't be friends. Because it's almost as good as Am I Wrong? You're from fucking Dedham, dude.
I picked you off the scab of my back, bro.
But then he says something at the very beginning too that I can't pick up. He's like, you're garbage. Yeah. What are you talking about? You're from fucking Dedham, dude. That made me almost want to move back to Boston.
Well,
people sent me the names of those clubs, by the way, Josh. Remember I was trying to think of the names of the clubs?
Yes.
So update. It was called The Alley, okay? And Avenue C was one of them. Zanzibar, Sweetwater Cafe. Any of these ringing a bell?
Yeah, Sweetwater Cafe, I remember.
Okay. So
Zanzibar. I don't recall Zanzibar.
So if you were in Boston, 96, 97, 98, part of 99, that's where I was, bro. And I was still partying. I was still drinking, Josh.
That's like Sweetwater Cafe's still there, I think.
That's why when Mark Maron has some of these Boston comedians on, like, and they talk about these like horrible gigs they've done, like I've done a bunch of those. Yeah, dude, Boston late 90s, man. Come on.
Did you ever do the upstairs room at Kowloon?
The fucking the fucking Kowloon. I did the Leaning Tower of Pizza there. What's that called? Is that Regina's? What was that called? Not Regina's.
No. Oh God, what was that pizza place?
So Grill 93, which is now something else, and you actually pass it. You pass it if you drive from Boston to Killington. You go right up 95. It's called the Grill, but now it's called something else. Route 91, or not Route 91. Route 1 is the pizza place.
Yeah.
And so is whatchamacallit. They mentioned it on Bill Simmons the other day. What was the fucking name of that strip club in Revere? God awful strip club.
Oh, the Squire.
Fucking Squire! Yeah! Is that still there?
Yeah, we were just having this conversation with somebody the other day. I forget who, but like talking about all the terrible strip clubs in like Everett and Saugus and like the Golden Banana up Route 1 even further north.
But they were talking about, right, they were talking about like I think it was on the the town rewatchables, and they were like, yeah, they probably hit Foxy Lady and then drove down Route 1 to hit the fucking square. You're from fucking Dedham, dude.
Oh God.
Seriously, that just brings me back. Loud, drunk Boston women at, somebody used to have some comedian had a joke about that, how unsexy it was to be in bed with a girl with a Boston accent. Fuck me harder. Josh is dying.
Oh yeah.
It's too bad we couldn't have hung out back then, Josh. It's too bad.
It is one of the greatest tragedies.
Right?
Oh man. Do you think we're gonna have to talk about Tough Mudder next week?
Well, we're definitely gonna have to talk about Tough Mudder. Good news or bad. But you've officially bummed me out because I kind of feel like you're right, like another week or two, and because Joe's gonna see that too. Joe's gonna be like, I can't do this.
Right. And I honestly think that a decision will be made. I guess this is what we do in the professional world. We circle it back at the end.
Not usually, but in this week we do.
I think this week, like, there's obviously a sense of urgency with Joe, and I'm sure with Will, right? And I have to think that, like, Will's, angel on his shoulder, if he has one, is probably like, hey, buddy, you should, maybe get out of this with something. So maybe there's some, twittering in his head. Saying,
okay, but see, so here's the deal. We can end on this, okay? I rewatched the Theranos documentary, okay? I feel like we had this conversation. We had this conversation?
I don't know.
No, because I just watched it. So I just watched the Theranos documentary, Out for Blood in Silicon Valley, and I kept looking at Stacy during it saying, does this sound familiar to you? Because the patterns of this kind of person are kind of unbelievable. Like, completely busted, back into a corner, like, we have you red-handed, here are all the facts. And rather than go, you know what, you got me, it's nope, double down, and attack. Okay?
Yep.
And actually, I did say this. I said at the end of the last podcast, I said, watch this and see if it reminds you of anyone. It's eerily similar behavior. And the word would be, please don't sue me, allegedly, what's the way I can say this and not get sued? Sociopathic.
Yeah. Well,
and it's not new, right? There's many, many other people business-wise. But if you watch that documentary, which is fantastic, Alex Gibney is a god. He's amazing. I started rewatching other ones. I rewatched Client 9 again. Solid. Anyway, it's eerily similar.
How do you find all this time?
Well, this is what I watch when I'm like, I don't watch whatever fucking bullshit you watch. I watch like documentaries.
Whatever bullshit I watch.
Yeah, you're fucking watching. What are you watching these days?
I was upset that I watched The Witcher, which is only the most popular show that's come out on television in the last 6 months. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Because I'm telling you to your Witcher.
Because I'm telling you to watch this amazing show called Succession, which is phenomenal, and you refuse to watch it.
I'll get there.
Okay. How about Don't Fuck with Cats? You watch that one yet?
Only like the first half of the first episode. Then I got distracted.
Oh my God.
I got issues, man. Staying on point sometimes.
Josh, I'm going to be forced to bring on Ricky again, and we're going to talk about Don't Fuck with Cats.
Ricky doesn't have time for you. He has a new baby. Congratulations to Ricky, by the way, having a new child. Is that the first child of Discord?
I think so.
Is that the first baby of Discord? Like, oh, right. let me present to you the first baby of Discord. Yeah, that might be our first Discord baby.
Yeah, it makes it sound like you and I had sex, but
gross.
We didn't. All right, so listen. I'm going to go ahead and say this now. Please stay tuned. It could be as fresh as today.
Ready for that today. I don't have time for it today. Can we schedule it for tomorrow?
Can you not? Will Dean and Joe DeSena, can you not?
Can you just not?
Remind me to tell you all the things that I couldn't tell you before this happened.
Did you ever think you'd be at a point in your life where, you know how like, you obviously listen to a ton of ESPN, right? And
I used to, but yes.
You still do. Don't lie. Did you watch the college football championship last night?
I was just about to say I didn't even watch the college championship last night.
I watched. I flipped in because we had it in 4K, but we were only we had a stream from the flying camera that they have above the field, and it was just an uncut feed, no commentary.
Ooh, blowout, love it.
It was really ugly in the first half, and then it obviously changed. But they just had like a single feed from the camera, and you were just watching the event as it happened. You could hear all like the little advertisements. You could hear the guy on the PA like, if you want to hear Sweet Caroline, tweet at us, blah, blah, blah. Really cool way to watch football, actually, without all the talking heads in there. I don't know why I brought that up, but anyway. My brain just exploded. I don't know what I was talking about there. What was I saying before the college football championship?
I don't know, but I'll say that goes to show. I literally, when you said
I forget. I remember rather. You watch a lot of ESPN. So when like the whole Brady scandal happened, there were people like following court filings on how things were happening.
Right.
News was breaking. Did you ever think in your life like you would be that person, like following this kind of stuff, like following the bankruptcy courts in Maryland, waiting on breaking news?
No, but I couldn't imagine fucking half, whatever percentage of my life. So I think that's why I'm telling you may or may not care less in the next 7 years about what idiots are saying on social media. I mean, this again just goes to show you, like, once upon a time, I at least would like DVR this game, right? And then wake up and watch some, like I would have watched some of it, gone to bed, woke up and watched the rest. To say I couldn't care less is like truly, like, the only way this would have been better is if a non-SEC team won, because I think I told you I like to hate on all my neighbors who are SEC or ACC fans in this case. So either way, I like when Alabama's losing, right? Clemson was probably getting a little too big for their britches, so they probably needed to be taken down a notch. This guy, Joe Burrow, will sign a massive contract in the NFL and then be out in 2 years, and the life goes on. You know what I mean?
He'll go the Ryan Leaf way. Do you think he'll go out like Ryan Leaf?
No.
Like, here's $80 million up front, and you're gone forever.
Josh, can you don't be such a hack. Ryan Leaf is like Jamarcus Russell is a much more relevant reference.
No, well, relevant, yes, but people, if you have not seen Ryan Leaf's mental breakdown, like when the reporter was talking to him.
Dude, but that's like saying, have you seen George Brett get mad in the fucking Pine Tar Bat game? Come on, Josh.
Everybody's seen George Brett get mad.
I know, so why are you going to talk about it? It's like, come on, dude. Like,
I'm trying to make college sport references, and you're getting upset. You are the king of college sport references that nobody knows anything about.
I am trying to listen. If you've seen anything on Ryan Leaf lately, he's gotten sober. He's trying to make a comeback as like a coach. He's a solid guy. I won't use shit on my man, Ryan Leaf. Meanwhile, Jamarcus Russell got caught with purple drank. All right, talk about a waste of talent.
Jamarcus Russell has not pulled any punches as to what he is. The man loves tacos. He loves to eat. He was 300 pounds or something at one point.
He somehow made like the 1 in 15 Raiders worse.
Well, there's still room to drop there. So,
do you think Tom Brady will leave?
I don't. I think he'll be back. I think he finishes a Patriot at all costs. If it's a money thing, Kraft is going to pay him. If it's a respect thing, he's that kind of guy where he'll come back.
So
I wish he would have retired after the Super Bowl last year, though.
What if he says to Kraft, just get me some fucking receivers? Like, please don't do what we always do, which is go cheap. Spend some money. Like, Belichick, just do this for me. Like, I've given you fucking 20 years. Do this for me, for fuck's sake. And then we can all go out on top.
Then Kraft does it.
But that's what I'm saying. What if he doesn't?
Well, if he doesn't, then that's a different story. But that decision will already be made when Tom Brady says I'm back or I'm not back.
Who do you keep happier, Belichick or Brady? If you're the old man, when you're not getting a fucking handy in an Asian massage place, what do you do?
I don't think you can make that coach happy. So I think you kind of play the hand you're dealt in that case. But I think you have to keep Brady happy. You know, whether Belichick is happy or upset, you wouldn't know it because he's the same character either way. But I think Brady is a more public character who is on the radio every week, right, doing TV spots every single week. So that the happier that guy is, the better off you are.
So why do you
Belichick
think
is always?
Why do you think Brady's being vague to try to get more money?
Well, I mean, I don't think Brady has to negotiate for money, right? Brady is going to get paid no matter where he goes. I just, if anything, I'm like, maybe he just wants some fucking time to relax. Like if I was him, I'd be like, I know I'm coming back, but I don't need to say it now because then I don't need all this conversation around, whoa, you're going to win another Super Bowl. Like, just give the goddamn man some time off to relax.
All right.
Just leave Tom Brady alone.
All right. I'm going to take you off record. Hang on.